Hello, welcome back. So just a quick update on the video I made this morning. So I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but that said, this morning this is exactly what we predicted. We predicted, we were around here this morning, we wanted it to come down and test this blue box here, and if it were to have broken the this area here where this previous wick had gone down to, which was 11,100, we kind of thought that we were going to be coming down to the bottom part of the blue box, which was 11,000, which we broke. And so our next target from there was 10,800, which is where we see this white 200 EMA, which is always going to be a support for us. And that's where we found our first bounce, and that is exactly where we are right now. We're on the 4-hourly chart, and we've bounced from there. It looks maybe that I mean, it's very early on, but it maybe does look a little bit to me that 11,000's actually become a resistance already. And if it has, then I would expect a continuation of this move down, because with the momentum that's been taking place on these sell-offs in comparison to the greens, we've got we've got heavier reds, basically more volume in the reds than we do in the greens. I would expect that it would break and we'll be down to this area here, which is 10,600, and that is where we will find yet another bounce similar to this one, maybe bigger, because this is really the last stand for the price in the 10,000s before we come plummeting down all the way down to this blue box here, which sounds ridiculous, but it kind of is. I mean, there will be stops on the way. This will be one here at 10,000 exactly. There's no question about that. But if that breaks, and that is only a psychological figure, it's not tangible really in any way other than that. So if that breaks, if we come down this far, and if we come down quite quickly, that will break. We are actually all the way down here at 9,200, believe it or not. But anyway, that is yet to be seen. Like I say, we haven't decided yet if 11,000 has become a resistance. It looks like 11,000 might have become a resistance right now. So we're trading in a range, to be honest with you, of 10,800 and 11,000, which is not very much trading range for Bitcoin at all. Indicators suggest on this 4-hourly chart that there's more room to go. On the daily chart, we're making fresh cross to the down. So actually, I'm thinking we are probably going to come down to test at least that 10,600 before we see anything move from there. So 10,600, that's where we're going from there. Anyway, let's move on to Matic. So Matic, we knew that it was going to come down, and actually it was starting to look a little bit scary. But like I said on my previous video, each of these moving averages here are going to, and they're all quite close together, they're going to cause relatively strong supports for Matic on the way down. And to be honest with you, Matic should be coming down a little further than this, because we wanted a little more of a correction, to be honest with you, because we knew that this move here was off the back of a Coinbase announcement. It's not exactly organic growth, and this consolidation shows that. But then we were surprised to see this move up again here, which again was still on the back of this, people trying to cash in on its moves, because these are the waves that are taking place with Matic as a result of that announcement. But this one here did surprise me a little. I thought that these supports would break, but we actually bounced on our very first, well, it's not the first one, but technically it's the 50 EMA, or you could now class it as the 50 simple. So actually it's found a nice bounce on one of its first support layers. The scary and worrying thing about Matic to me is that even though these supports are all close together, and it will create a very strong support overall in this area, unlikely to, well, the biggest bounce that we would likely to see would be down here on this yellow 200 simple. And that's we call it 1.3 cent basically, but we didn't even come close to that, and now we're bouncing. The reason for the bounce I couldn't tell you, but the indicators suggest that the reason is that we're bouncing off these supports, and now we're back into this resistance zone between 1.6 and is that 1.7.5? Yeah, 1.7.5 cents. So this is a strong resistance area for us, so we need to break above that. So we're halfway through it, but Not really sure where this money's coming from and why, but so I would be surprised if we break to the top of it. But if we did, that would be great. It would be very good for the coin. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin pairing. So actually, this makes a little more sense in a way, because if Bitcoin's falling and Matic doesn't fall as fast, we would increase our satoshis, and it looks as though we had quite a big boost here from 139 to we're at 150. 152. We're at 154. So we've actually done pretty good move there. And again, we're bouncing from this area, which is going to be very strong with all these moving averages together. But also, we're certainly not falling as fast. If when we did fall, we didn't fall as fast as Bitcoin, which has definitely fallen the furthest and fastest today. I mean, there will be others, obviously, but of these coins that we follow on this channel. So where's it going to go from here? Well, I mean, if this if there has more movement to the up, and it looks like these may cross, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was a little more move to the up. Depends on what Bitcoin does as well, because Bitcoin could cause these satoshis to rise. But if it falls dramatically, like like one of these scenarios that we've talked about, then it's going to take the market with it. And Matic, I would be very surprised if Matic escapes any of that collapse. So our main target here for Satoshi values is 167 actually. I thought it was a little higher. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to take out some of these most recent highs as we were on our way down on this correction. Actually, this main one is around 175 to 177 Satoshis. We'll call it 175 originally. So if we can break out of there, then unbelievable. That would be a very good sign, because we at that point would have had higher highs and lower lows. So very good sign for it at the moment. Indicators suggest that there perhaps is a little bit more move to the up, but I'll be very surprised if we do take out these areas, or even these areas. I think it's going to run out of steam before then, and perhaps continue with its consolidation. But again, standing back from it, Matic is a very, very small chart to go by. There's really TA on this is possible, but it's not as predictive as something like Bitcoin, which does have a longer chart history. It's got cycles, it's got all the moving averages of all the time frames, so it makes a lot more sense to, well, I say more sense, it's easier to predict something like Bitcoin than it would be on something like Matic. But that said, I do believe that this is likely to run out of steam probably towards the top of this Bollinger Band, so I'd be surprised if it peaks any further than 162 before a continuation down. And again, with the tether pairing, I also would be surprised if it gets above this the top of this area here, which would be 1.74 cent. But anything can happen with this coin. This is why we like it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. I hope you have a nice evening. Take care.